Welcome back to Straight Facts by Dinar Investor.
Hey, good morning, guys. So yesterday I posted a video about the China trade. A few people are quick to come in and say, oh, this has nothing to do with Iraq and the reinstatement of the Iraq's currency, such as Mark Rogers. When you come in and you do that and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you don't help the situation, okay? It has everything to do with a lot, okay? It doesn't have a direct relationship. The China trade itself does not have a direct relationship to the reinstatement. But here's what you're missing. Who the hell's in charge of this? Who shed blood? Who poured trillions of dollars into this? The U.S. government is. Okay, so right now, who is putting sanctions on Iran? Trump. Who put the tariffs on China? Trump. Okay, whose theme for the re-election is the economy? Trump. Okay, did any of you notice how this whole timing of of Iraq's reinstatement is being delayed into next year? Okay, so guys, I'm bringing you possibilities here. I'm not bringing you. I'm bringing you possible things that could play out in certain fashions, such as the timing of the timing of the rate change, guys. I'm not telling you it's going to happen in March, but it could, okay? This whole video is my opinion and should not be used for financial advice. Guys, if they choose to do the timing in March, okay, that's like 7 to 8 months before the U.S. elections in November, okay? And I'm just telling you, yeah, Trump's in charge. If you guys think Trump's a dummy and Trump will not use this to his full advantage, you might want to reconsider your thoughts. Trump is no dummy, and I'll promise you he is going to use this 100% to his advantage, okay? So what I'm trying to do is bring you possible scenarios as to how this could play out, okay? Trump, who's a mastermind of many things, could time this to where it is to his full advantage, okay? He could be delaying it until like the end of March to when Kuwait did theirs. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And second, what none of you considered is that many of you are invested in Vietnam's currency, okay? And what is Vietnam doing with their currency? They're playing the same game as their big brother China, okay? They're manipulating their currency. What did I just show you this morning? That there could be a currency agreement coming, like a currency manipulation agreement coming possibly this week, okay? Well, Vietnam's playing the same game Big Brother China is, okay, guys? If China chooses to shift gears on their currency, that could trigger some economic or currency movements also with Vietnam. So what I'm trying to show you guys is please kindly think before you post and step on all my hard work. If you don't know what you're saying, then just kindly stay quiet and sit in the background and give me a chance to show things to you. Because, guys, when you come out like Mark Rogers, when you come out and do this crap, you don't help my work, and you really don't know what you're talking about, okay? Mark, I'm not trying to put you on blast. Just please show some courtesy when I'm trying to reach out and help you guys, and then you step on my hard work. You don't make it easier for me to do what I'm trying to do to help you guys out, because there's a much bigger picture here, and if you don't think deep enough to see that, give me a chance to present it to you. I don't just do what I do just to do it. I reach out to help you guys, but when you come out and, start shooting your mouth and you really don't know what you're saying, you don't help this big picture, and you don't help my hard work for everybody. You actually step on my toes, and there's no wisdom in that. So yeah, guys, the China trade has a much more significant impact than you actually realize, okay? One of the masterminds who's in charge of everything, including the timing of Iraq's rate change, could also be using the timing of the revaluation and the China trade to possibly boost his own, promote himself for re-election based on the timing of how strong the economy gets before his campaigning and the timing of the elections. And the movement of China could have a lot to do with the timing of things happening in Vietnam that many of you are invested in. You guys have a great day. Take care.
I need another cake.
Yes. Oh,
Do you mind in the fridge to read it?
yes, this is for guys like John that aren't good with Chinese. They'll have that magnified so fast your head will spin. Well, it's a tremendous message, and thank you very much. And I've read this, and I appreciate it very much. This is from President Xi.
Yes, exactly.
And we knew that we were going to have a very successful phase one. And it took us a long time to get here, but it's something that's going to be great for China and great for the USA, and we appreciate it very much. And please congratulate President Xi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify on the tariffs.
Please.
I was just going to clarify. The Vice Premier has requested and the President has approved. While we go through a process of documenting this, we will not be implementing the increase of tariffs that were scheduled to go in place from 25 to 30%.
The ones that were supposed to go into place on Tuesday next week.
That's correct. That's correct. Those will be deferred.
Including the other ones.
Mr. President, are we now closer to a complete end of this trade war? Do you have a timetable in mind?
Yeah, I think we're very close. I think this is a very important phase. It's, a lot of things are here. Our agriculture will be completed because when we bring it up to $50 billion, I project is going to be the number. I don't know that there's a question as to whether or not our farmers can produce that much, and I think they can, but they're literally, and I said it jokingly, I think I mean it, they're going to have to buy more land, which is okay. Be a good time to own land in Iowa and Nebraska and a lot of other great states. So they're very happy about it. But we're taking it from $8 billion, which it is now, and it was about $2 or $3 billion. They got down pretty low. But if you take the highest it ever was 16 billion, and we're bringing that to 50 billion. So we're going from 16 to 50. So anywhere between 40 and 50. And that'll start very soon. And they've actually already started purchasing. You've actually started purchasing a lot from the farmers. We just got messages from the Middle West.
Already for 20 million.
Yeah, 20 billion.
20 million.
Or 20 million tons.
Already.
Yeah, tremendous amount of soybeans. And that was over the last couple of weeks. We got word of that. You know, we got word. We notice it. It goes quickly because we see a price go up a little bit, right? It's incredible the way the market works. But yes,
$398.
that's right.
Dollar.
That's right. That's right.
President, how will this deal, Mr. President, how will this deal be enforced?
We're working on enforcement right now, and that's been largely agreed to, and that's one of the things in this agreement. We have an enforcement provision, and they're working out the final aspects of that enforcement position, and I think that's something, Bob, do you want to say something about that?
Sure. We're going to have a very elaborate consultation process. We have an escalation in various areas so that difficulties can be resolved. Both parties have allocated or have assigned various people, have created a structure under it, and we're down to the final details of what will happen if there's not a resolution, and that's kind of the final issue that we're putting together. But both sides agree it absolutely has to have a workable dispute settlement mechanism, and we're very close to that.
Mr. President, how do you see the U.S.-China relations right now? Do you see what areas U.S. and China can still work together?
Yeah, I think they're great. I think the relationship in certain ways may be better than it's ever been. We've been through a very tough negotiation. There's never been a negotiation like this. In all fairness, I give China tremendous credit because for 25 or 30 years, they've done very well with the U.S., and now we're doing something jointly. We're doing it in a fair manner. I give China credit for what they've done over the last 30 years. Tremendous credit. I don't blame China. I blame the people representing our country. now we have a deal that I think ultimately is going to be just fantastic for China and fantastic for the United States.
Mr. President, can you clarify, is this an actual deal or is this progress towards the
No, it's subject to getting everything papered. You have to do it. We've agreed in principle to just about everything I mentioned, all of the different points, and now we're getting it papered. And I don't think it should be a problem getting it papered. I think that China wants it badly, and so we want it also. And we should be able to get that done over the next 4 weeks. We're going to be in Chile in 5 weeks, so we'll see in terms of signing when it happens. We'll do a formal signing with President Xi and myself. But this is just something that's very exciting. And I'm very excited, actually. We cover a lot more territory than agriculture, but I'm very excited for the farmer because there's never been a deal of this magnitude for the American farmer. Bob, do you want to talk about the Huawei?
I'm sorry, the question is, in this agreement, we're not dealing specifically with Huawei. It's not part of this agreement. That's a separate process.
Mr. President, the negotiation team on both sides are waiting for business dealings with Hunter Biden, with Chinese officials.
Well, we're going to discuss where's Hunter. Where is Hunter, by the way? Whatever happened to him? We're going to discuss where's Hunter when I get out because I'll stop at the helicopter. But right now, in respect to China and to the Vice Premier, we're going to only ask questions about
Mr.
John.
Mr. President, on that point, can you assure the American people that you did not bring up Joe Biden in these negotiations, that you have not brought up that?
I have not brought up Joe Biden. China can do whatever they want with respect to the Bidens. China can do whatever they want with respect to $1.5 billion going to somebody. That's up to China. But we do have to look into corruption, but no, it has not been brought up.
Mr. President, how many American people that this deal over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks won't fall apart as it's being papered? And then
Well, anything can happen. That can happen. I don't think it will. I think we know each other very well. We've been negotiating this for a long time. There's a possibility, of course, that maybe there's something that they're unable to get papered. But I've been doing this for a long time, and the Vice Premier's been doing it for a long time, and many other deals for many, many years, both of us. And his people are very great professionals, and so am I. And I think the likelihood of it falling apart is not so good. What do you think, Steve? What would you say?
I think we have a fundamental understanding on the key issues. We've gone through a significant amount of paper, but there is more work to do. And we will not sign an agreement unless we get and can tell the president that this is on paper. And I know the Vice Premier needs to go back and do some work with his team, but we've made a lot of progress over the last 2 days.
Mr. President, can you comment on
And most of this is also known by the people in China, by President Xi. He's been following it very closely. And
Mr. President, the teams have been working together for over a year and a half now. Can you comment on the progress and the performances of the teams of both sides?
well, I think, are you from China?
Yes,
I think the people of China have to be very proud of your team. They are unrelenting. I say that in a positive way, but they're unrelenting. They're tough, they're smart, and they have negotiated a great deal. But I think the people of China should be very proud of this team, starting with the Vice Premier. He's a very extraordinary man. We've gotten to know each other well. And everybody on my team respects your team. So I think they've really handled themselves incredibly well. So the tariffs on the increase from 25% to 30%, that will be suspended. We'll be paying 25, but we're not increasing it to 30. And then you might want to mention the additional tariff.
The additional tariffs are scheduled to go into effect, as many of you know, the second half of September. That is scheduled into effect on December the 15th, and the president has not made a final decision on that, but there's plenty of time to make that decision. And that is certainly part of this process that the Chinese are working their way through. So the first one has been suspended. The second one is subject to the president making a final decision, but the way this timing works out, that'll be well in advance of that date.
And we'll be making
Mr. President,